Hi there, Meteorologist Lisa Green here to talk about the heat that we're experiencing, the changes that'll be coming our way, and how that transition will play out. We do have to watch out for some thunderstorms as we head into the weekend, as we expected, but some of them could be strong to severe. And then we're talking about a couple of other fun things. Records, northern lights have been going on, so we're going to touch on a few things here as we work our way through the forecast for today. So first of all, let's talk about the warmth that we are in and the records that we do have at risk for today. We're going to be seeing some temperatures really starting to soar here, and they already have started to as we are working our way through the morning hours. So looking at our records for today, we're focusing in on Grand Forks and Fargo, with Grand Forks being the area that is more likely to see a record. A record high for today, and this is pretty awesome. We have an old record, 1897, a record high of 85 degrees. I'm actually kind of sad that we might be breaking this record. I love those old ones. But it does look like we've got a good chance of doing so. We're looking at a high of 87 degrees today in Grand Forks, so we are forecasting a record there. And in Fargo, we may not quite get there. We're looking at our record high set back in the same year, 1897, the record 90 degrees. And I don't know if we'll get that warm. We're looking at more mid to upper 80s in the forecast today. In Fargo's forecast, we've got 86. So we may not quite get there, but you know, stranger things have happened. We did see 92 degrees recently, so some changes have been occurring here. And another on this date graphic here for October 2nd, just to do a little comparison because it is so warm, we're close to records. And so let's take a look at where we could be. So for Fargo, October 2nd is actually our average first freeze. So we are looking at the potential for no freezing conditions today. In fact, again, looking at record highs as we've been so warm. And just looking at some of the data from this, we've already seen our first frost in a lot of areas. But a reminder, our first frost, which is temperatures down to as low or as high as 36 degrees. We're looking at Fargo, Grand Forks in that September 20th time range. And then for that first freeze, again, Grand Forks, that first freeze, October 1st, and Fargo, October 2nd. Other places see, on average, first freeze into September, late September, places like Devil's Lake and Detroit Lake. So again, we've had some freezing conditions in some areas already this fall as we were into September, but we've seen that warm up again. So some changes have happened, and we've really been soaring here as we are starting off October. So let's take a look at our latest radar and satellite map. It's much quieter than yesterday. Yesterday we were dealing with the fire danger, and unfortunately that ended up verifying in Trail County. We had a couple of fires started with combines, folks out harvesting, so there were a couple of fires. So we want you to be extra careful because it's still dry in a lot of areas. It's just that the wind isn't as strong, so it's not going to spread the fires as easily, but still very dry out there. So keep that in mind today too. But you can see we're also quiet. The thunderstorms we saw yesterday, that risk has moved on. They're more over toward the Boundary Waters area in Minnesota. Though I do have a couple of clouds on the map here showing a little bit of green under them around Bemidji. So just keep that in mind here, but most of us on the dry side. And looking at our current conditions, one other fun thing to talk about here is that we've got a new sky cam at the station for Fargo Moorhead, this time for the northern part of the metro, right at Newman Outdoor Field, and our camera mounted there, currently looking at that beautiful blue sky. We can see the Fargo Dome there. So with this camera, we'll be able to, and unfortunately I don't have access to our controls, but we will be able to monitor, you know, events at the Fargo Dome. We'll be able to, really importantly, be able to see the airport a little bit better. So as you know, we go through the winter season, we'll be monitoring travel, that kind of thing. Be good to monitor the airport. If I were to flip the camera around, we could see parts of NDSU's campus and still downtown. So just a lot of great views and a lot of landmarks. That'll be good to keep an eye on here now that we have our new sky cam. So we're excited about that. So again, temperatures are on the rise. We're in the 70s already this morning at 70 in Fargo, 76 in Grand Forks, Devil's Lake still at 69, and you can see more low 70s in Jamestown, Fergus Falls, Bemidji. And again, the wind not nearly anywhere near where we were yesterday. We've got wind speeds more into the single digits. About 5 to 15 miles per hour will be our max today, and most of us below that that 10-mile range. And as we take a look at our forecast for today, our temperatures are into the 80s coming up for the forecast. So again, forecast highs more into the 80s. A few of us, again, maybe in the upper 70s, but I do think we're looking at a warm day, and so warm that we're, talking about record potential. So let's talk about the difference we're going to be experiencing here as we head into the forecast. So for today, 86 degrees in Fargo. We're looking at warm, sunny conditions. And then as we head into the end of the week, we're still going to be warm, but by the time we get to Sunday, that's when everything flips, and we're going to see temperatures much cooler, about a 20-degree difference for highs, rainy conditions possible, and some wind as well, and there is that chance for some storms too. We'll be talking about Saturday night, and a first alert weather day. We raised that because of that change that's happening. We want you to be ready for it, and just know that it's going to be a little bit dramatic compared to where we've been, and maybe you're looking forward to that. That's a possibility, and so here's your heads up that that's coming its way. So here's a look at our hour-by-hour planner so today I'm not going to get into today because it's mostly sunny out there. It's going to be quiet and we've got light wind. So I just want to look ahead to our next chance for rain. And so we're looking at Friday, and you can see some clouds. There's a possibility we could see an isolated thunder shower. Right now our forecast model not showing that all that much here. Moving on into Saturday, we've been talking about this all week, how our long-range models haven't exactly been in consensus. And so, it's hard to pinpoint timing and location when you don't have a solid lead on how things are going to go. Well, now they're getting more in line with each other, and we're looking at Saturday once again, looking to be a quieter day. So I'm glad to say that for folks who want to get outside. And this weekend, Saturday is going to be a better day for that, it looks like right now. You can see Saturday morning that we're looking pretty good. The exception will be north and west, where we have the potential for rain and thunder to start more in the afternoon and evening hours there. You can see a few areas of rain and thunders trying to get going on Saturday evening, and clouds starting to move in too. And then here comes that chance for rain and thunder. So Saturday night, overnight, and into Sunday morning, you can see some rain and thunderstorms starting to move into Jamestown. That continues to lift to the northeast overnight into Sunday morning. And that possibility for storms will continue through the morning hours. So that is going to be more focused, it looks like right now, in the west and in the north as we're starting off Sunday. You can see there are some areas where we have a chance for some rain and thunder as well ahead of that area. So these could be some areas where we could see an isolated thunderstorm or two pop up. So we'll be watching that as well into the overnight hours and into Sunday morning. Now that model runs out. We get into that longer range view here, and so it's a little bit more less high resolution, but we're still looking at a large area of rain as we work our way through Sunday, and then continuing on into Sunday night, that starts to move on. So Sunday's going to be the day where we're more likely to have more widespread rain, where we're going to have the cooler temperatures as the front moves through, and the wind as well associated with that. So let's look at our storm risk. So this is our day 3 risk from the Storm Prediction Center, and a reminder, these risks cover a 24-hour period. So that means that Saturday, this time period we're looking at here starts Saturday morning, and it goes all the way through Saturday night and into Sunday morning from 7 to 7, essentially, 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. And so this marginal risk more for Saturday night and overnight, and you can see a large area in the valley under that level 1 marginal risk. So it's not a high risk, but still a chance for severe storms. Yes, we're still talking about that chance for severe storms here in the forecast, and that's going to, again, be something we'll be monitoring as we head into the weekend. And as far as rainfall is concerned, we can expect to see some rain that really kicks in for some areas. This particular model really brings us a heavy amount of rain. This is the European model. It's bringing us in that 1 to 3 plus inch rain for a few localized areas. Will be more toward that 3-inch range. And you can see it covers the west and the north for the valley. And then there may be some areas that don't see much at all. We'll see how this pans out. But, places like Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, Lakes Country may be missing out on some of this rain here as we head into late Saturday night. Now this could change. We could see a little shift. So something to keep in mind as you're planning your weekend. But right now, both of our long-range models are really lining up to bring that heavier rain north and west. The GFS model, the American model, I don't have it lined up for us here, but it is showing not as much, more in that 1 to 2-inch range for some areas. But I wanted to show you that high end just so you're prepared for that possibility coming up for the weekend. So one other thing that we want to talk about, well, let's talk about weekend. One more slide here. The comparison between Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, going to be pretty warm. We're looking at a lot of places still getting into the 80s, but on Saturday, we're going to start to see that front move through. So there will be some places that don't warm up as much as others. For example, Fargo, we've got a forecast of 87, Bemidji 84, Detroit Lakes 86. Grand Forks not as warm, will be around 76. And look at Devil's Lake, some mid-60s. So that tells us we've got this front moving through, and it's going to clear Devil's Lake first. It'll hit Grand Forks before it hits Fargo. So timing on that's going to be pretty critical on what your temperature you experience. But just keep in mind, there will be a front that may bring about a different experience depending on where you are. And then Sunday, everybody's in on the cool down. We'll be in the 50s and 60s here, and every place has a chance for some rain coming up on Sunday. So more of a gloomy day. Great day to stay inside. Watch some football, read a book, just enjoy, some cozy weather. Maybe if you've been holding off on making your fall dishes and your fall soups, well, Sunday might be a good day for that and for baking coming up here. Okay, so that is the change that's happening. Again, a first alert weather day on Sunday to just give you that heads up that we've got a big change coming our way. But we also want to give you a heads up about what's been going on. For 4 days in a row now, we have a geomagnetic storm that's been going, and it's just been consistently bringing us northern lights. And this is actually from last night. And we keep getting photos into our gallery. You can actually check them out there yourself. If you go to valleynewslive.com and head to the weather page, there's a tab at the top that you can select to see our photos. This one just came in from last night. Carmel or Carmel, not sure how to pronounce your first name, but I come from Indiana, and our town in Indiana is called Carmel, but I know that in California it's Carmel. So hopefully we've got you covered either way. But anyway, looking at Gardner, North Dakota, I want to say thank you so much for sharing this photo of, you can see some clouds, but then in the background, those columns of light from the northern lights, just incredible view there. And we've got more of these pictures that you can check out on our website again. And upload your own right through the VNL Weather app. You can access that same page right through the app. There's a button at the bottom of the home screen that says submit, and just do it right there through your phone. But we really appreciate those. We'll continue to share them. And here's some good news if you've missed out. We do have more northern light potential for tonight. The likelihood of aurora is still there for us here. So here's what's called the aurora oval. And the area in red is what's predicted to be the area of most intense aurora. And then this thin red line here, this is the aurora line. So this is kind of the cutoff, essentially. So as this advances southward, anybody north of the line should have a view of some aurora here for tonight. And we'll be there in North Dakota and into northern parts of Minnesota, most of Minnesota, in fact. And so this is for tonight. So we have the potential to see northern lights tonight. And with our clear skies we've got going on, a pretty good shot at it. Now, I will mention that there's a chance for a few more clouds along the international border. So that may hamper viewing a little tonight. We'll have to see if that plays out. But in general, we have some decent viewing going on here for tonight. And this is tonight's forecast. Tomorrow night's forecast is looking similar too. So we may keep the streak going for a couple more days. So if you haven't seen them before or want to get out and get another view, now's your chance here, next couple of nights. So let's take a look at our 3-day planner. We're looking at temperatures that are going to be toasty all 3 days. Today, mid-80s, tomorrow, upper 80s. And I don't know if we'll see records tomorrow. Tomorrow's records are pretty high, so it's going to be tougher to reach or surpass them. Saturday, if we do heat up, again, Saturday ahead of that front, there's a day that we have the potential of seeing a record or two of fall as well. But you can see we've got that chance for an isolated shower on Friday, though the chance doesn't look as great right now. And then on Saturday, that chance for rain and thunder showers, especially later in the evening, and especially in the north and west. And eventually that does sweep through, and as the front sweeps through, that'll bring the rest of us our chances for rain on Sunday. And you can see again that temperature difference. Sunday, that first alert weather day for that big kind of shocking change we'll be experiencing. And then we move into fall weather coming up for next week. You can see temperatures will be into the low to mid 60s throughout the work week. We'll have some rain chances toward the end of next week. and then it could be quite cool into the following weekend on the 11th and 12th. So fall lovers, we've got good news for you there in the 11-day planner. And for those who have been enjoying the bonus summer, the second summer, we are looking at conditions that are still holding on for at least 2.5 more days now as we head into today, the rest of today, tomorrow, and for many of us on Saturday as well with that bonus day. I'm just checking to see if we have any questions. Not seeing any here on our Facebook page. But again, if you do have some comments or questions when we're doing these live videos and live forecasts, please comment. Let us know, what you are wondering. We can try to answer your questions and help you plan ahead for any plans that you have in the forecast coming up here. And again, fall colors are really getting into their full peak at this point in time in parts of Minnesota. Tomorrow when I come back, that's what we'll be focusing on. Again, we'll take a look at the latest update on fall colors, where we're seeing them peaking, and get you that forecast for the weekend to get out and do some leaf peeping or whatever fall event you may be wanting to do coming up for tomorrow as we head into your Friday. So in the meantime, enjoy your Thursday. It's a quiet, just very warm day today, and the heat will stick around again for a couple more days before those changes happen. And again, we'll talk tomorrow about fall color coming up here as we head into what will be a peak weekend, I think, for a lot of places. Have a great day.